What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and we're looking at Tari, and it looks like some new mining hardware in the term of ASICs is already coming for Tari. So let's kind of do a little background, step back here, and have a look at things. So as we know a while ago, Tari now does have 4 chains. I was wondering when it was going to fork the GPUs. It looks like it happened a little while ago and I missed it, because if I come into their Discord here, they are talking about, someone asked what happened to the GPU fork that was supposed to happen like 2 weeks after the first fork. That means when the fork was supposed to happen on CPUs to make the Tari only side, and then they're supposed to have the GPU only fork because it got slammed with FPGAs. And it looks like it was scheduled for block height 85K. So if we actually come into the Tari Explorer, we can see we're at block height, we're over 100K now, and there are blocks being found on Kakaru 29. So this is the GPU fork. It did go through, so there's now 4 chains on Tari. So I'm going to kind of explain how this works now. So previously it was 33% going to each chain here. Now that the 4th chain is emerged, that means it's going to be 25% each chain. So Tari FPGA is SHA-3X. So this is the one that's actually going to be ASIC. So here we go. So what was going on here is GPUs and FPGAs were mining on SHA-3X, and then obviously the FPGAs came in and destroyed the GPUs because they could not compete with the FPGAs. So then all of a sudden now we do have the GPU fork. So when this first happened, there might have been some profit here. I missed it, so I don't have no idea what the profits are currently at. Maybe I'll take a look at everything and go through each and make a video on that and kind of see where profit is on Tari on all types of hardware now that it has it all. But so the GPUs left, it would have made FPGAs more profitable because this hash rate would have left, depending how many left there to compete with them. But now ASICs are coming and it's going to wipe out the FPGA. So it's going to be ASIC only on this one chain here, which is 25% of the daily emissions. GPUs are getting their 25%. Now Monero and Tari merge is getting 25%. And then there's also Tari only on CPUs for 25% as well. So that's kind of how it's split down. So I'm talking about ASICs now, and this is not going to affect any one of the others. It's not going to affect CPUs, and it's not going to affect GPUs at all. The only thing that the ASICs are going to affect is the FPGA side, as they will slowly be pushed off and probably start looking for another coin, depending on the hash rate and efficiency of these ASICs. So everything else, GPUs and CPUs, don't have to worry. It's only the FPGAs that gotta kind of have their eyes open to see how well these initial ASICs will perform. All right, so now that we kind of went through that, so you understand how the Tari chains are working and the splits and everything, here is the announcement, and it's coming from none other than Goldshell. It seems Goldshell seems to be making these ASICs first, but as we know, they're going to be good at first. Hands down, they're going to be first because it's the first ASIC and stuff. And people are giving up on ASICs. It's too much money, so it's going to be interesting to see how they price these. But if they're priced decently and nobody buys them, there is going to be a decent amount of profit on these early on. But again, not financial advice or anything. And again, long term, these are going to be not efficient, especially if anyone else releases a Tari ASIC after Goldshell. The Goldshell ones are going to be, the worst miners, but they're always tend to be first here. So if you're lucky, you might be able to ROI, but it all depends on what the heck the price of these are going to be. And remember, you're only getting 25% of the chain also. So 3/4 of the day, I don't know if they turn off by themselves or go into power saving mode or what, because they can't mine anything else other than Tari. So, they're only mining for 25% of the day. So it's going to be interesting if they're just wasting power, sitting there for the rest of it. So that's another thing we got to kind of realize and look at when it comes to the chains that are 4-way splits like that and stuff. So anyway, with Goldshell support, the Tari ecosystem is set to achieve new breakthroughs in computational power support and network security. Miners worldwide now have a new and efficient way to participate in the Tari ecosystem. I don't know, a lot of you guys are probably going to disagree with that statement in terms of network security and, efficient way and stuff like that, because again, I think it's going to be a less efficient way, because these are going to be using probably a decent amount of power, and it's going to be using power for only for 75% of the day when it's not even mining anything, which I kind of talked about. So it's going to be interesting to see how these work out. I don't know if I'll get one to test or not, but we'll see. Here is ZZ Miner here. Big news. Goldshell is launching the first ever ASIC miner for Tari network. Milestone for Tari. New gateway for global miners. And here we have Goldshell's official announcement. Goldshell is building for the Tari network XTM. Are you ready? And then, hashtag Goldshell XTM Tari here. Goldshell X Tari Network XTM making the launch of Tari's first ASIC. So it's going to be interesting. Now they have pictures here. So obviously they have the little box miner. And then I don't know what these two are supposed to be. This kind of looks like a Flu miner or maybe a PlayStation 5. And this might be like an actual big ASIC thing. But overall, there's no stats on this thing. No amount of power is being used. That means there's no nothing. So I wish I could plug in some numbers and see how profitable it currently looks right now before it's released. But we can't do that. And because there's no stats or anything, we don't know if we could get numbers and a release date maybe next week or in like 6 months from now. We have no idea when it's actually going to happen. Alrighty guys, so that pretty much does wrap up this video. Just a quick one, get the word out. There is an actual Tari ASIC coming out already, and I kind of went through how the blockchain works because I know some people are kind of curious and they're still not quite sure how it all goes. So here we can see we got the block times here, we got some hash rate. So here's random X, which I believe is the merge mine random X. So that's with Monero here. We can see it's pretty consistent in terms of that. We do have SHA-3, which is FPGAs. Looks like hash rate is slowly starting to leave here. Not by much, just a little bit, what is that? 33.49 down to 32. So yeah, hardly any hash rate left. We do have Tari random X. So this is Tari only. We're seeing a bit of an increase in hash rate of people mining Tari only. And then here we have the Cuckoo 29. This is your GPU. It looks like it started at about 2603. So I don't know, is it gigahashes or graphs or I don't know what's going on with this one. But anyway, we got 2603 and it dropped down to 25. So not really that much. It looks like it's a lot more of a drop than it really is. And that's what the hash rates, I guess, are currently looking like for Tari. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section. Are you still mining Tari? I know it was doing extremely well when it first released, but like most altcoins, it seems to die off pretty fast and the profits kind of disappear as well. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this ASIC, on Tari, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Rabid out.